room to save the day.
Welcome to Mighty House. This is a radio show for people with problems, home improvement problems, that is, and for people who want common sense guidance on how to build green and live a more sustainable lifestyle. Send an email or call into the show. The Mighty House crew is on the job. This is Mighty House.
Well, we're back at Mike's house. Wait,
Yes.
that's my house. Okay, and Kathleen's who's holding the camera here.
Right.
So we just did another test.
So we've got majority insulation blown in the walls. We did the attic and the walls upstairs, tightened it up pretty good. And I think that we brought this blower door test back now just to see how we did to find any more leaks. And we found a few more areas that we need to touch up.
Well, you know, you gloss over this, Ron. I mean, we've had guys climbing around the house and drilling holes in the walls from the outside in the wood siding, and then blowing in cellulose. And do we need to talk about how many machines you had to rent before you found one that worked?
Well, one correct machine.
We
need exactly one proper machine, and you can't rent one. They're not available for rental.
And it was from you, wasn't it?
Yeah, we do have one. There's an air sealing class that we teach, and so that we have a dense packing machine. And I know that you can't rent them because I looked for one to rent for this class, and we had to end up buying one.
We're back now with Richard Spiess. He's from Innovative Insulation Solutions, I believe. Is that correct? You got this?
Absolutely.
Solutions. There you go. Explain why we're going to use closed cell foam versus maybe putting open cell foam in these joist pockets, rafter pockets, or even just doing fiberglass.
Well, closed cell foam has the highest R value on today's market for any insulation product, R7 per inch. It's a vapor barrier. Once you get to about 1 inch of foam, so it's going to be unaffected by moisture movement through the product. Whereas your fiberglass and your open cell are still half the R value as of closed cell, and it is susceptible to a moisture movement and condensation and such.
Okay, so air will still move through both of those other products, whereas the closed it does not.
And vapor drive, and so the insulation can get wetted from condensation and then rot, mildew, and so on and so forth. So by insulating those closed cell foam, it's the best we can do with the framing that we have.
Now we could frame this down and add more, but there's a decent amount of expense to adding all that framing. And then once you're over 3 inches, what kind of value is there in those additional?
Well, I mean, there's stated R value, and then there's a point of diminishing returns when you have closed cell foam. So this is the best we can do. It's going to be worlds better than what we had here before.
There was nothing.
So it's going to be definitely a huge improvement to what we have.
You know, Mike, you've got original windows here, which mean they're 100 years old, right? Single pane wood
400
windows,
years
right?
old.
You don't need to be any kind of a quality window salesman to make the argument that these windows should be upgraded, right? Most people with double pane windows, if you've got any kind of double pane windows are probably not going to be your biggest area of savings, because if it's air leakage around the windows, well, it's not replacement of windows, it's caulking, it's foaming, it's doing detailed touch-up weather stripping around those windows. So for the people that just, my house is cold, I want to get windows, you'll get plenty of support from the window guys, but I'm telling you, from the perspective of a property owner, that's not where I'd spend my first few $1,000s.
Right. Insulate, air seal and insulate, and then look at your windows.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about what we're doing here today.
All right, so on to
And luckily we got Mike to offer up his house for us to destroy. So
wonderful guinea pig.
Yeah. He's been dealing with drywall dust and insulation blown all over the place.
But we're going to need therapy for my cat after this, okay?
But it's not all downside. Apparently, the mornings are rather comfortable, right? We can wander out without getting fully dressed to run to the bathroom. So that's a huge improvement. That's a quality of life improvement there.
Well, let's get those windows in now.
Yeah. Next step, windows. And we'll show you that next.